Hello, everybody. I'm Andy Pollard. I go by capital A N D Y, capital P 7391, NDP 7391. Hashtag Alabama UFO Ghost Magnet. And musically, I've been labeled a living legend. I don't think so. And the way I got the name is, it's not me anymore. Anyhow, I'm here to share my very first UFO encounter. It was I was out of school probably 4 or 5 years. So I'd say I was about 23. So that would have put it about 95, 96. Cell phones were coming in, easing in. There were towers going up. Remember this part, because it's going to tie into my story. I was raised, if you're familiar with American culture and Christianity, there is a division of church, or not divided, but a denomination of church called Church of God. The old Church of God, you live by the rules. There was no questioning it. What the Bible says, that's fact. So I'm raised that way. My mindset through an American government-run education system in the Deep South, in the Bible Belt. Well, this was about the time the meth epidemic was hitting. There's people going to California and learning how to make it and coming back here. But at this particular time in my life, that night and there was about a week or two that I didn't do nothing. I was stone cold sober when I seen this. So you can't tell me that I was messed up, because I was not. Yes, I had been searching that night. I'd searched all night and with no avail. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was coming into Brigham, Alabama, in Marion County, northwest Alabama. Brigham is an old coal mining town, which is all the mines have gone. They turned the land upside down and left it, and finally come back and reclaimed a lot of it, though. But we had one of these open surface mines behind our house. I mean, you walk out the back door, you go down in the woods about 30 feet, no more woods. It was the earth turned upside down. Gray rock, high wall, cliffs, some of them 100, 150 feet high. Not very good to walk at night in the woods if you didn't know your way around. Well, I'm coming into Brigham, and there's a fork. It's like a little exit that veers off. It used to be the main road before they built the bypass. Well, the main road, I see 2 spotlights. Just so happened to be over toward the direction of my house. So, And I'm like, well, could be a helicopter, And as I go through town, I can still see the two spotlights. And the reason I'm stressing this is there is a huge mountain in between my house and the town, which the water tank sits on. And gravity flow, you know how water tanks work. It's like I was the only thing out that night. And they noticed it. I'm getting chill bumps talking about it. Oh, I turned there to projects, go by the, don't even think the storage buildings were built yet. When I get about to Olin Green's house, and if you're from Britt, y'all know, I lose sight of the lights. It's like they drop down. And it looked just like they were, well, anyhow. I topped the hill. It's a huge mile-long straightaway. It goes down a huge hill and then straight. I used to drag race down through there all the time. To this side is like a little, just like coming in a brick, like a little exit. We had a gravel road that you could haul butt up through there, come in sideways, and get stopped just in time before you hit the house. Nah, but I didn't do that night. When I topped the hill, the two lights looked like they were over the strip pit, behind them, right behind my house. They go off. One red blinking light. I said, So my little brainwashed mind so innocent to everything. I had been sheltered from everything in my life. They tried to keep the evil out and keep your kids innocent as long as you can, people. Don't let them lose that innocence. And you know what I'm talking about. What things they need to learn at a certain age, and some things that they don't need to learn at certain ages. I'll leave that at that. But I pull up. Mom and Daddy's car's over here to the left. Well, I pull over here to the right. One red flashing light right above the trees, about 50 yards from me, blinking. I start thinking, well, and then I get mad. Yeah, mad. I want to know how in the world did I miss them building a pad, getting the building ready to house the equipment and to power this cell tower, them the crane, everything that goes in with putting up a cell tower. How did I miss this? This is 50 yards behind my house. And the two spotlights, I'm thinking, well, they're trying to get this tower up quick as possible, that they are working at night, and they've got lights up there working. Yep, okay, explained away. As I was about to, I'm getting chills, whoo. As I was about to turn and go in, the red light stays on. But dimly lit cockpit lights come on. Two slender silhouettes are staring right at me, 50 yards away, at about 125 to 150 feet in the air. I knew what I was looking at. I knew exactly what I was looking at. There was a curiosity that had always been in me of something beyond this life, and they're still there. And I think they've been in contact several times afterwards. Maybe I didn't know it at the time, but I had the things to prove it. We stared at each other for at least, it seemed like 30 minutes, probably 5 to 8 minutes, which is a long time if you just go to counting seconds. I said, well, my mind is still trying to process. Why am I not hearing helicopter blades? Something that low, I should hear Harrier jet engines. Because we don't have, I don't believe in gravity. I call it anti-density. Why does water spill to the floor? Because it's thicker than oxygen. It's density, y'all. Anyhow, never mind. Instead of turning away, they're looking at me like this. The cockpit triangle with a line right down the middle. One silhouette here, one silhouette here. Instead of turning and going away, they stay facing me until they are out of sight. Backing up slow, really slow. I'm still getting chill bumps talking about it, y'all. It is so vivid and fresh in my memory still to this day. I got ostracized. I got excluded, called crazy. Told me I said little green man. Yeah, I probably did. But it wasn't from drugs. Not that night. Who's to say I'm not an experiment? At least 3 times I've woke up with wounds in my belly button. Not just any wounds. These wounds took like months to heal. People, you just don't wake up with stuff like that. I don't pick at my belly button. I'm not that kind of person, or I don't know. It's just weird to me. Some unexplainable things have happened in my life that I don't know. But that was my very first UFO encounter. 2 weeks later, I see the same 2 spotlights, except they are 2 miles down the road, not that much further. I cut the headlights off. There was a dimly lit moon with low-hanging clouds. The moon was peeking through every now and then. Y'all, I was hauling it, but I could see good. I had good eyes back then. And I got right in under this thing. It seen me. Lights go out. Guess what comes on? Yep, the red light. This thing, that night, it was probably about 500 feet to 1,000 feet, because it's hard to judge with the clouds, being so low, and if they're high, or I Could I judge how big this thing was? It was a triangle shape. This is how fast it was moving. Just exactly this speed. So that's why I say it's hard to judge when you're looking up. You need to go back and see what the cloud elevation is of that date and all that for Alabama to get that information. But made me question everything. After I seen that I was going to get made fun of, I didn't tell nobody. But it still haunted me. The few I did tell, they told people. Then I got to tell it. I wanted them to know. Don't know what I seen that night. I know it wasn't from this place. It wasn't, it wasn't human beings that I seen in them silhouettes. I know how human beings, any kind of military aircraft guys, got a certain, these guys didn't have shoulders. So, if they did, they wasn't big. They were slender. Listen to me. The government is fixing to use this. Their objective, Democrats right now, are worldist. I can't even hardly say it. Worldist. They want a one world government, one world currency. They're fixing to use it. Something big is fixing to happen. And they're going to try to fool the American people by saying it's something else. American people's not going to be fooled. Just wait and see.